It is officially April, which means it is seed starting season for those of us in cold climates. And because there's simply just way too many seeds to go over every single one of them, I'm going to kind of break these up into groups, and then I'm going to give you tips and tricks to actually get the best results when starting these groups in April. So what that means is that if you believe a plant falls within that group, then that is the process that you want to follow. If you're questioning what group a plant falls into, then just comment down below and I will be able to help you out. If I can't help you, someone in the geek crew absolutely will, because they're just as smart as me in the comment section. So let's get into it. Start off with the first category, and these are your just really classic fruits that are vining and or tree-like. So this can include things like eggplants, okras, and tomatoes, as well as peppers to an extent. So the key here with these guys is that if you choose to start them here at the beginning of April, you don't need to use a heat lamp for a majority of those plants, unless if it's a pepper, then you would need to use a heat mat just to speed things up, because you are getting a little bit too far behind for actually starting those peppers. Now for the tomatoes, the okra, and the eggplant, you don't need to add that heat mat until you're about the middle to end of April. If you're watching this video later in the month, then you may want to choose to use that heat mat just to get things going faster. Now, the reason for why you may want to wait until the end of April is if you have limited lighting, you have limited space, or you simply just don't want to spend the money on all the nursery pots to bump into, etc. and so forth. So what starting these later with a heat mat allows for is kind of like a 2 to 3 week buffer where you can be behind, but still use science essentially to catch up to the people who started at the beginning of April. And trust me, plants will catch up darn quickly. The key when using the heat mat for this, however, is that once the entire tray has germinated, or 80 to 90% of the tray is germinated, you remove the heat mat or whatever heat source you're using to trigger that quicker germination, because you will end up with leggier plants otherwise. And the other thing is the heat mat trick doesn't apply to all the plants we're going to talk about in this video, because heat can actually cause a leggy plant for some of these, but I will single those out when we come across them. Now the key with all of these is that oftentimes you will hear from the internet that they need to be topped or clipped down. Now this is not a good idea if you live in Canada or anywhere that is a colder climate, because it's actually just going to delay your flowering and ultimately your harvest. So it's a little bit too late to utilize that method. But if you wanted to utilize that method next year, you're going to want to start them much sooner in the season to allow for time to catch up. So the next grouping is just your loose leaves. So we're talking things like basil, arugula, spinach, and lettuce. Now you can assess these differently. There's going to be ones that are frost tolerant that you can start now and actually put outdoors a little bit earlier. And then there's going to be ones that need to be started now but then held indoors, for example, like a romaine or a buttercrunch sort of head lettuce of some sort. And then the other way you could do this is actually sowing directly outdoors, particularly with those frost-resistant varieties. Now, when you go to sow outdoors, you need to make sure your soil temp is at the appropriate level. Seeds need the soil to be at a certain temperature in order for them to germinate. So if you want to speed this process up, because you live in an area that had a blizzard not even 24 hours ago for 2 days straight, yeah, feel bad for most of Saskatchewan. That's what happened to us. If you're under snow again, the ways you can speed this up is actually through cold frames and low tunnels, or a faster way to do it is through solarization. So this simply involves taking poly, a thicker poly that is clear. We don't want to use black, contrary to popular belief. We want to use clear whenever possible. And we want to try to get it as close to that soil surface as possible with rocks or snow or debris that allows it to sit tight to that soil and it doesn't lift up or move. Once we leave it there, it will slowly warm the soil up. And so what you could do is just take a soil temp thermometer, pop it through the poly so that the gauge is on top, but the probe is through into the soil. And then you just want to watch and wait for that temperature to read the degrees that you need for spinach or lettuce or whatever you're deciding to sow direct outdoors. This allows you to get a head start and just completely bypass the process of starting them indoors. Now, next up is going to be your greens that get a little bit taller in nature. So we're talking things like kales and collard greens and char. These sorts of plants, they tend to kind of almost be tree-like in a way as the season goes on. And now is the time to start those. The sooner you start them, the more likely you're going to be able to escape flea beetle issues, because flea beetles will not chew on more mature leaves, shockingly enough. They will only chew on the baby leaves. So the more adult plant we get to transplant outdoors, the better. The other benefit here is earlier harvest. So these can be some of the first plants that you actually harvest from in the year if you start them a little bit earlier in the season. Now, of course, you can start them later. You can actually start them in May if you wanted to. It's just a suggestion that if you're really itching to start seeds, you can start them here now in April. Next up, we just have Brassicas in general. So we're talking things like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, broccolini, pretty much everything except for Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts you need to start right now if you want to do those, because you actually need a pretty big plant and they need quite a few growing degree days, shockingly enough. But anything else that's not Brussels sprouts, you can start kind of anytime within April, preferably in the first half and not in the second half. But if you fall behind, this is a plant you're better off getting baby plants from the nursery, because they do not do well under any sort of heat, whether it's from the light, ambient, or a heat mat. So while heat will speed up the germination process, there's no benefit to it because it makes for a very leggy plant, and these do not do well when they're leggy, and there's no reversing that legginess. Even if you plant them deeper, there's no coming back from it. So these ones you want to start now in a moderate climate inside your home, but don't apply any heat. If you miss the boat, then I actually just hold off until the nurseries open up and then go grab some from the nursery. And it's going to be a lot less stressful and probably a lot cheaper because you're not going to have to replace those plants anyways. So next up is actually radish, turnips, rutabaga, anything like that. And these are another one where you could start them indoors if you wanted to and then transplant them outside. But the better method is to use that solarization method to get the soil up to the temperature it needs to be at, and then to plop those into the soil directly. These are all pretty good with frost, to be honest, and now is one of the best times to actually get away with no flea beetle issues, because the flea beetles aren't going to wake up for a while, and by the time they do wake up, you're going to have very adult leaves on all of these plants, so you're not going to be fighting with the flea beetles come springtime. So if you want to pace them, if you will, that is a great way to do. So there are a number of different flowers you can start this time of year. You can do marigolds, cosmos, you name it. The one that's very popular to start right now is sunflowers. What I will say when you start sunflowers indoors is that they are notoriously difficult to transplant, and they don't always transplant the best. The key when transplanting them is not to sink them too low and actually plant them as flush with the soil surface as humanly possible. And that tends to get you the results you want without all the die-off. But everything else is just fine to start now. What I will say is hold off on things like marigolds and zinnias and cosmos, which tend to flower and get ready pretty quickly. Hold off on those if you don't have the proper lighting or the proper space to ensure that they're not going to get leggy, because a leggy cosmo, while it'll still grow, isn't nearly as pretty or productive compared to something that was started in the correct conditions. So again, if you can't rush it because you don't have the proper equipment, don't rush it and just wait things out, because trust me, it'll be a benefit in the long run. So when it comes to kind of rooting plants that do well in a cooler soil, we can do things like potatoes, but actually what I would encourage you to do with your potatoes this time of year would be to chit them now rather than putting them in the ground. Chitting is a process that will take you up pretty much until right when you need to actually get them in the ground, and it can massively increase your yields. I've actually read some studies on this, and not only does it increase your yields, but it also helps with getting a harvest sooner in the year and a larger harvest in a cooler climate. And I discussed this a little bit in my 25 tricks, rapid fire tricks for seed starting. The video looks like this. But regardless, it's a great process to take advantage of, and right now is the time to take advantage of it. But otherwise, we've got things like carrots and beets, all of which again can be sown direct outdoors once the ground has become the correct temperature. So again, solarization may be necessary, but these are plants that tend to do okay with frost. And they're also plants that are very easy to cover because they're so flush with the ground. Basically, outpacing frost is pretty darn easy with these guys. Now, if you've ever had issues with worms or critters when it comes to things like leeks and onions, these are two that you should have your starts already. It's a little bit too late to start these from seed, but if you have the physical starts or you have the sown seedlings, the key here is to try to get them into the garden as soon as possible. Now, I'm not going to be able to get mine into the garden until probably May because I just know my soil is not going to be anywhere near the temperature it needs to be by then. But if you can get your soil to that temperature and you are in an area that tends to get a little bit warmer a little bit sooner, the sowing of these earlier in the season or transplanting them early in the season can not only get you harvest sooner, it ends up with larger bulbs and less pest issues because again, the pests haven't woken up. So take advantage of April and the fact that there are plants that can go outside despite the fact that it is a little bit cooler, because all we need to do is just literally take a thin bed sheet and chuck it over top every night just to really be safe. And ultimately speaking, there's major benefits because we're going to be able to outpace a lot of problems we typically run into because of just the oddity that is April. Now, some other popular ones that you could start now that I normally don't start because I find it just to be a little bit of a waste of my time and space and energy. But if you really wanted to, and or if you're a beginner and you want to really succeed at seed starting indoors, things like zucchinis, peas, and beans are all things that you can start now. If you choose to go this route, just keep in mind that you still need to harden them off and go through all that process. And also keep in mind, these are all items you could direct sow if you wanted to, but it's a good way to be able to test your setups if you're not totally sure at how good you are when it comes to actually growing. Now, what I personally am not good at, and I know lots of people who are good at it, but I've just always failed, and so I just really don't try anymore, is vining plants. So things like winter squash or cucumbers, I don't actually start these, I only direct sow, but if you really wanted to get a head start, now would be the time to do that. The other one that I do start indoors only because the timing is needed is loofahs. So if you are wanting to go the loofah route, then now is the time to start those. Just keep in mind, they don't transplant the best. So you really need to take care when hardening them off, when transplanting, etc. and so forth. Now, one you're going to see quite often that I don't advise doing is corn. So corn is one that people will say to start now indoors. These ones are notorious for not being able to transplant well. And the reason for this is because they have adventitious roots, very specific ones that kind of act like an anchor. And if these adventitious roots are covered with soil, the plant as a whole tends to die off if the crown is put too deep. So if you want to go this route, you need to plant them flush with the soil surface based on how they're growing. And this can pose issues because when you go to transplant them, I find that they do tend to flop over, so you need to be able to prop them up in some way. This is, again, another one that you can start indoors, but I just don't think it's worth your time. So what I would instead encourage you to do is direct sow these. The exception to this would be some forms of ornamental corn that need to be sown a little bit earlier, and that they aren't as finicky when it comes to transplanting, or if they are, you just need to follow the appropriate steps. But like I said, this list is not exhaustive because April is the time to start seeds. So if you have any favorites that you think the Geek Crew needs to become aware of starting right now, please comment them down in the comment section down below. I said comments a lot of time in just a single sentence. And if you want to learn more on just seed starting in general, you're going to want to check out this video right here. And that video is what Google says you should watch. I will talk to you guys next time.